What is up, guys? I have another recap coming. This one from a random matchup that we had with a clan called Tiger Droppings, which is a LSU, Louisiana State University family clan, and quite a good clan. They're another fair play clan, so it's nice to be able to match up with those clans decently well, or decently similar footing, I guess I should say. We had a little bit of an advantage, which helped, and then our Town Hall 9s were just on fire this war, so we were able to have plenty of scouts up top and be able to get quite a few Town Hall 10 triples as well. But I'll go ahead and actually let's look through our side first. They were unable to clear, I think, 3 Town Hall 9s, and then our low Town Hall 10s they weren't able to clear, but they were able to get all the 2 stars in the Town Hall 10s, so they were good there. Just their Town Hall 9s didn't finish as well. But to start off our recap here, I'm actually going to start with my own raid because I'm selfish. And this one is a fun raid to me because I wasn't really expecting a triple. I was actually scouting for a Town Hall 11 right here because I didn't really think that my level 4 Valks and level 5 Hogs would be able to get through this base, but fortunately they did. So the big things I was testing here were right here in this elbow. Is the queen going to be able to stay alive without using a rage? And he was also going to have his Grand Warden, which would have helped too. Luckily, she is able to move around right here and be pretty full health as she's able to push around. Another thing I actually did a little different was I dropped my king over there on the west, which he wouldn't have needed because he had the Grand Warden, but that's going to help with tanking. And then I go ahead and get my golem down, wizard going in, getting all the CC troops here, good poison going down, and then going to rage across the middle. Another thing I was testing was giant bombs up in the north, and there happened to not be any up there. The Valks were able to just push through this base really strongly. The healers going to the Valks probably helped out quite a ton as they're able to meet back up as they sort of split through the core, and they're just all sort of converging with the Hogs on this last bit and able to take out this last little compartment down here, as I have Wizard and a couple Goblins working their way around getting the last bit of this cleanup. So it's going to be GG at that point. So a little bit of luck, don't get me wrong, but still always fun to see when it's an 88k. Next attack, we're going to have Sorak going in. And this is actually a cleanup raid from a Town Hall 10 attempt. But he is going to step up here with his queen walk. She's going to keep on walking around, get the enemy queen, while he's going to do a strong Valk attack here from the south. And once they're pushing through to the core, he's going to be able to send his Hogs in on the wizard tower. So the queen's going to continue her walk here. Jump is down. All the Valks are down. Unfortunately, the loon didn't go down, which probably hurt him some. I can't tell if it got any drops in there or not. Looks like it got a drop on that Grand Warden. Well, no, maybe not. But, not a huge problem since he had that Grand Warden. He was able to save a freeze, and as you see, he was able to actually swag a rage here, as well as an earthquake, which he was just going to use to soften the core, as everything was able to push nicely through, and somehow that loon did not completely ruin his day. Somehow stayed all the way alive to the end on a GoVaHo, which is always awesome. Next attack, we're going to come down to Draven doing a mass Valk, which has been really working out well for him on these very compact bases like this. We're going to see a lot of these being, phased out as mass Valks are realized, how powerful they are. But while they're still here, might as well take advantage of them and continue these Valk attacks. He's going to walk his queen over here. I think she's going to walk to the west, if I remember correctly. Correct. She's going to walk over there, and then he's going to send in his Valks essentially at the empty spot that she made, and they're going to be able to path through really nicely through the core. And yeah, there they go. So once they're down, Golem's going to go down, Valks are going down right behind them, and going to send in a jump to be able to reach the core. Does have the CC that comes out, and he's a little late on the poison, but having them under 2 rages, the loons are just too slow to be able to drop them. I mean, you're seeing the core just exploded right there, and it's just that last bit of little leg right there where the Valks are taking out. And even if they're not going to have enough ability to get through there, they're going to have enough ability to keep the queen without many troops shooting at him, right? So he has another couple Valks over here. King still has his ability. He's going to pop that right here as the king is able to reach out and take the rest of this base down to all on his own. And it's going to be a nice, good 3-star here by Draven. Actually doesn't use king ability. Probably should have used it. Could have got him back up a little bit for farming, which is always real important. Next attack going down to 12. here is Tito taking out a 9.5 with a GoVaHo. And yes, in case you were wondering, every single attack on this recap does employ Valks. Not all of them use them, extensively. We did have another HGH that just had them as utility, but every single raid had Valks. They're just too powerful not to use right now. Even at level 4, they're just awesome. His queen is going to walk right here, which I don't think he wanted to happen, but it's actually going to help him because she's going to be able to take out this Tesla farm and going to help out his hogs. They're able to get through nice here. So he's going to be a little bit off of that heal. Probably could have been a little more forward and had them healed up through that expo, but it's going to be okay because he does have that backside heal, and the Valks are still working through nicely. Lost a couple hogs right there, but not enough defenses up. Not enough defenses left to really affect it, as his cleanup is all over there in the west. A lot of HP to go through, but with the hogs and the Valks and his heroes still up, they are going to path back nicely and be able to take out the last of this base. So a very nice attack here to Tito, taking out a 9.5 as a Town Hall 9. Next attack, going down to 17. It's going to be James doing a GoVaHo. And his is actually employing a Queen Walk also. Pretty difficult Queen Walk here. He's actually sort of needing her to step up and then walk over. And by dropping that minion, he's kind of hoping that the Queen doesn't, ignore those defenses or those collectors right there, and she's going to be able to step up and take out this Expo and Archer Tower here. Does have that wizard that's helping out also, taking out that high HP storage. Does have a minion over there in the southwest, so a very nice job here making sure that he's being able to get through the storages without taking up too much time. Poison's going to go down. Pretty much perfect timing there. Going to make sure the loons don't drop on the queen's head, which could be bad. And Valks are going to go down here, and he's going to have 2 jumps, and as you can see, he pretty much can reach all of the base with those 2 jumps. Probably could have had a hog or 2 on that wizard tower, but that's okay. They're going to be healed up here in the middle of the base, as the hogs are going to come in for support across the northeast side, I should say. And the queen is going to continue her walk over there. She did have to use her ability, obviously, when she saw the enemy queen. Luckily, he was paying attention there and able to take out these last bit of defenses with his hogs, and then tons of cleanup still at this point. As you see, it's hugely spread out, and that's really going to help him with time, with the 30 seconds being an issue. Next attack going to go down to 19. This is Wiggum. Very nice GoVaHo here from Wiggum. No healers employed, no walk, but he is going to just rip through this base. Nice compact core, good time to use Valks, and a lot of hogs to be able to get through all the back end. Unfortunately, doesn't have that golem redirect, which probably hurt him a little bit, but it is tanking for these hogs, so it is, doing some work for him. Queen's going to be able to take out that CC nice and easily. The Valks are going to absolutely rip through the enemy queen right there, and the enemy king as well. Hogs are going to come in. They're really well tanked right here with the core Valks, and I think Golem, it might be dead by this point, as he's sending in all the hogs rather, to keep supporting this little group, and going to get that last heal down and keep them all essentially full health as they're able to push through this back side. Does hit a giant bomb on the way out of the heal, which is never ideal, but that Golem is still over there tanking, so it's going to help him out. So then the hogs are just going to push through, get the last bit of cleanup, and a very nice raid here from Wiggum. Next attack, probably my favorite attack from the war, just because it's not a GoVaHo, is Brad going in with an HGVaHo? GoVaHo? I don't know. He basically is going to do an HGH, though, where he's going to send in max giants with healers on them, but he does send in a couple Valks, and those Valks are going to do a good job of taking out the queen a little bit quicker, and still being alive to help do quite a bit of damage to the middle of this base. The healers, as you see, are keeping all the giants alive through the core. It does have that middle Tesla farm, and they're able to rip through it really easily, and eventually the healers often will switch on to the queen to keep her for cleanup, which is nice too. He's going to send a couple Valks down there on the southwest side as well, which are going to be for cleanup as well as tanking for the hogs, because they still are quite tanky. And the hogs are going to keep pushing through, get the last bit of defenses down. The giants are able to trip all the giant bombs. Actually, it might have been some hogs trip that giant bomb. I didn't notice, but plenty up for cleanup here, and does still have the queen up for cleanup as well, which is going to be huge as things are pushing through nicely here for a nice triple here from Brad. Very cool. I love seeing attacks that aren't you know, the exact same as all the other attacks. For our last attack of this recap, we're going to come down to 22, which is Scorpion, who's going to do a Queen Walk GoVaHo. And he is going to do a bit of a difficult Queen Walk here. Luckily that cannon is reachable without having to walk over too far. Sometimes it can be difficult when there's camps over there because they can, you know, it's hard to get the queen to walk at the camps, which can be used for your advantage a lot of the time as an easy funnel away from the camps. But here he wanted it to go that way. Luckily, he did have that little elbow where he can reach that cannon. So the queen is able to step up there, take out all these defenses right here, and continue walking around, eventually getting the queen. I don't think he meant to send in Hogs over there on the west. I think he meant to send in Valks. But they do quite a bit of work here as they're able to take out that northwest side. And the queen is continuing her walk. She is going a little bit slow. Could have been a little, maybe a little slower on the Valk deployment, but that's okay because they're obviously still alive and wrecking at this point. Gets that wizard down. Unfortunately, the arch tower is going to take out his hog right here, and then eventually that wizard. But the Valks are still up, and the queen is still doing her thing up north, and they're going to push through nice and easily for cleanup. And does have those last bit of high HP storages, but plenty of cleanup here to be able to rip through it pretty quickly. Of course, the queen hits a wall instead of going around, but it's okay because he was able to rip through in plenty of time for the nice 3-star. Very nice attack there to Scorpion. And then let's look at the stats. So as you see, we did have, you know, obviously more 3-stars. They weren't able to clear the 9s, which was a little unfortunate, but it was still a good showing by them. And we had a decent amount of Town Hall 10 triples, so that's always fun when we were able to practice, I guess. And our Town Hall 9s just were fire this war. But let's see, war results. Yep, as you see, 84 to 77. So very nice attack here. Or very nice war here, rather, TD War. By the way, I forgot to mention, they do have a YouTube channel. They don't have as many videos as others, but they do have some recaps from some nice wars they have, and I will link to that in the description, so be sure to check that out. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and do take care.